Okay, so here's chapter 11 review. Find the next three terms. The first one is geometric. This is geometric. You're multiplying by 10, so the next three terms would be 2,000, 20,000, and 200,000. This one is arithmetic. You're adding 3 every time, plus 3. So you have 369. No work necessary. Number 2, find the sum. First you have to find the number of terms. To find the number of terms, you use this formula. It's arithmetic. You're adding 5 each time to get to the next term. So to use this formula, you need to find n. So you have 253 equals 3 plus n minus 1 times d, which is 5. When you solve that, you subtract 3, you get 5n minus 5. On solving this, you get n equals 51. So the sum of 51 terms is 51 over 2, 3 plus 253. 253, yeah. So the answer would be 6,528. 6,528 is the sum. For the next one, you're told that it's an arithmetic means. So you might be able to guess what the difference is, but you can use this formula, the same formula down here. 64 equals the first term 1 plus the number of terms. You have 4 of them, so 4 minus 1 times d. When you solve this, you would get d equals 21. And so you're going to be adding 21. So this would be 22. 22 plus 21 is 43, are the missing terms. For number 4, find the indicated term. N equals 20 tells you what term you're looking for. You'd have a sub 20 equals the first plus the number of terms minus 1 times d. And that's pretty easy to solve. You plug it into your calculator and you get negative 92. For number 5, find the sum. This is geometric. R is negative 2. Multiplying by negative 2. Anytime the sign alternates, then you know it's geometric. So the sum of the first 15 terms would be the first term. 1 minus your r is negative 2, raised to the 15, divided by 1 minus negative 2. Be careful when you type this in your calculator. The answer you should get is 43,692. So if you got something, if you had the setup right but got a different answer, then you probably forgot a parenthesis either right here where the negative is with the negative 2, or down here in the denominator you might have forgotten a parenthesis if you didn't just do 3, divided by 3. Number 6, you're given s sub n, you're given the sum, so and it's arithmetic, you want to find the first 3 terms, so you have 408.5 equals n over 2, the first term plus the last term. So this would give you 817, multiply both sides by 2, add these, you get 43. And then divide by 43, you get n is 19. But you still need d. To find the first 3 terms, you need to find your d value. So you can use this formula, 35 equals 8 plus 19 minus 1 times d. So subtract 8, divide by d, you get 1.5. When you're still not done, 1.5 is your d. Your first term is 8. You have to find the first 3 terms, so the first 3 terms would be 8, 9.5, and 11 would be the first 3 terms. The next question, number 7, is dealing with the recursive formula. Here's the recursive formula. It's pretty long. You're given the first term 0, the second term is 2. So to find the third term, you would take 2 times the term before the third term, which is the second term, plus 3 times a sub 1, minus something minus 3. And that something, this n right here, is the same as this subscripted n. So this subscripted n is 2, so that would be a 2 right here for the n. And then you plug the numbers in, you have 2 times a sub 2 is 2, plus 3 times 0, minus 5, So that would give you negative 1 is the third term. And the fourth term, you'd have a sub 4 equals 2 times the term before it, a sub 3, plus 3 times a sub 2, minus something minus 3. And this something is the same as the subscript right here, a sub 3. So this would be a 3. So you have 2 times a sub 3 is negative 1. 3 times a sub 2, what is in the directions, is 2. Minus 6. 6 minus 6 is 0, so you get negative 2 as the answer for that. The next two, you have sigma notation. If you want to use the formula, the number of terms, as long as you start at 1, from 1 to 8, that would be 8 terms. So the sum of 8 terms is 8 over 2. You need the first term. The first term you plug in the bottom number into the formula. So you get 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3 plus. And then you plug the top number in and you get 17. So this would be 4 times 20 is 80. You could just write out the terms. If you don't want to use the formula, you could say the first term is 3, and then 5, then 7, then 9, then 11, and keep going until you get to the 8th term, which is 17. And then you just add them if you want to avoid the formula. The next one's a little more complicated. N is not 16 because you don't start at 1. 1 to 16 is 16. 2 to 16 is 15. R is 0.25. This is geometric. Notice the exponent lets us know it's geometric sequence. The first term, though, isn't a sub 1. It's actually a sub 2. So you have to plug 2 in to the exponent. And you get 10 times 0.25 to the first, which is 2.5. And then you can use the sum formula. So the sum of 15 terms equals the first term, which is the a sub 2. 2.5, 1 minus 0.25 to the 15, divided by 1 minus 0.25. If you do that on your calculator, you get 3.3 repeating, or 3 1/3 as your answer. Find the sum of the infinite geometric series. The formula for infinite geometric series is the quickest and the easiest one. There's only one issue. You can only use the formula. It's only valid when r is between negative 1 and 1. So this first one, when r is 2, this is undefined, or we'd say divergent or no solution. So you actually can't add an infinite number of terms starting at 5 multiplying by 2. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's divergent. The next one is the same formula. The sum is 3 over 1 minus 0.25. Which would give you 4 when you multiply. So that you can actually find a partial sum is what it's called. For repeating fractions, I won't require that you show much work if you know the pattern. The pattern is however many repeating digits that you have. In this case you have 2, a 5 and a 1. You're going to have 2 9s in the denominator with a 5 and a 1 in the numerator. So that actually simplified. So they're both divisible by 3. So you would get 17 33rds. 17 33rds. 17 over 33 would be the answer. Evaluate 8 factorial. Show work. All I mean to show work is I want to see that you know a factorial is products from the number that you're given all the way down to 1. And then you can use your calculator where the button is, you type 8, math, over to number 4 under probability. So the answer is 4032 with a 0. 40,320. Number 11, find the next 3 terms of the geometric sequence. You start at 2 and you're multiplying by 3. So you have 2, 6, 18, and 54. So these are the next 3 terms. Find the first 3 iterates. The first iterate, you plug 2 into the function. 2 times 2 minus 1, so you get 3. And then you plug 3 into the function, and you get 6 minus 1 is 5. And you plug 5 into the function, and you get 9. You also should know how to construct Pascal's triangle. It starts with a 1, that's the 0th row. I want you to go to the 6th row, or I might say the 5th row. So 1 and then a pair of 1s. 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, and then 2 more rows. So one question on the test will just be do this. Make sure you don't skip this row. For some reason, students happen to forget the first row, the 1 and the 1. They'll start with a 1 and jump down to 1, 2, 1, so be careful about that. The next question after the Pascal triangle question will be using the Pascal's triangle on a question like number 14. Your exponent's 3, so you're going to start with the 3rd row of Pascal's triangle, and then you have 4x, 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 and the exponents descend, and then you have y's that ascend. Also be careful that there's a negative. So you could include the negative with the y's, but sometimes it's easier just to include them out in front with alternating signs. So you would get 64x cubed minus 48 x squared y plus 12 xy squared minus y cubed. And that would be your simplified answer. I gave you another example with 15, which would be the 4th row, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. And you have a bunch of x's, which I guess you don't really need parentheses around x's when there's not a number with it. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put parentheses around the 2y since you have a number and a variable. 2y, 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 2y. And you ascend. And you don't have to alternate signs because you have a plus, so all these are going to be positives. So the final answer you would get is x to the 4th plus 8 x cubed y, and the rest. As I told you earlier, if you know all the formulas, or at least I'll ask you 4 out of the 7, 4 out of 7, I'll give you a bonus of 3 points if you know the formulas. Otherwise, I'll give you the formulas on the test. So if you don't know them now, you can learn them for bonus, or you can take a break and not learn them and not be punished for it. The last question is a word problem. Morgan emails a quip. A quip is like a joke. A quip to 5 people on Sunday morning. So 5 people is going to be our A sub 1. Each of these friends emails the quip to 3 of his or her friends. So it's going to be 5, and then after that there are going to be 15 people in addition to the original 5. So this is your R equals 3. It's multiplying by 3. Assuming no duplications, how many people have heard the joke by the end of Saturday? So it started on Sunday, at the end of Saturday. I think that's 7 days, Sunday to Saturday, week. So the sum after 7 days would be 5 people the first day, 1 minus 3 to the 7th, 1 minus 3. And the answer you get is 5465. People have heard the joke by the end of the week. And that is the review.